welcome back to my channel, Horn of the Collector, with me, Jace, and a slight change of scenery today, as you may have noticed, because I'm sitting with this big fella. Because today I want to talk about statue assembly, statues that basically come in bits that we have to put together, and whether or not you're a fan of that, and my points of view, and what I think are the benefits and the negatives. So let's crack on with it. Now, I've chosen to sit next to this fella here because this is probably, almost without question, the most awkward statue I personally have had to put together. I don't know how many parts he came in, but quite a few. Certainly not as much as some of the most complex and detailed ones that I've seen. From Prime 1, that would be certainly the Transformers line, which, wow, I've watched 2 or 3 of the unboxing videos of those, and I mean, it's just incredible. If you've not seen them, nip over to the Prime 1 YouTube page, and they've got them on there. They've got out of the box. I think some of the first ones are the Transformers line, so have a look at that. It's wow. Anyway, for me, I like statues that you have to assemble and put together for a few reasons, and I'll go through those now. For me, well, first of all, I'm a huge Lego fan. I love Lego. I absolutely love it. And prior to keeping and having collecting statues, I was buying and collecting the Star Wars UCS Lego models. And the last one that I had was the second edition of the UCS Millennium Falcon, that great big 7,500 piece. It was the size of my coffee table. It took me about 3 days to build it, I think. And that was it's such an incredible Lego model to put together. And I say it was the last Lego model I ever built. And when I started, I think when I had that, I'd already started collecting some of the Hot Toy figures that I had. And it's space. Everything's space, isn't it? In display space. And these UCS models, I mean, they're incredible. That new AT-AT one that's just come out looks phenomenal, but they take up a huge amount of room. So I stopped, and you know what? It was a real gutter, because the second edition UCS Star Destroyer just looks. I think that's the best looking ship. I think that's the best looking Lego model. Sorry. And the number of times I've nearly bought it, but I've refrained myself. Anyway, again, I'm going off on a tangent. So I like assembling things. I like that. So I've already got that I like to do. Now, you might be one of those people who likes to get your box, you open your box, you take the wrapping off, and you just take your statue out. There it is, and put it on the like those 6-scale meter pieces. Oh, be honest, do you know any of these here, really? And that's great, and I'm not knocking that. But the reason why I prefer statue assembly over that is, and you can do easy comparisons, is the fact that the statues that come apart, by the fact that they have way more detail. They're far more intricate. They will have a better pose, a more dynamic pose. One-piece statues are generally going to be very museum-esque poses. There's not going to be a lot going on, and if they try to do that, it becomes very easily breakable, or you're using more things like plastic, which will bend and are more pliable. Which leads nicely into another thing that I like about statues that come apart, because if they do break, if they are broke, quite often you're after a part. You're not after a whole replacement, it's a part. I mean, this one, for example, I actually broke that part there. I broke it, trying to get it, fiddling to get it in place. I'll get to why in a minute. But it was a very, very easy fix. I didn't need to contact Prime 1 or anything like that. Very, very simple fix. And it was my bloody fault anyway. And also, I will say this, there was one part missing, and there's 2 pins that go in there and there, and I only found one, and that was stuck in there somewhere. Never found the other one, but it was a simple thing. The end of a bootlace, I cut one of them off, and it's perfect fit. So if anyone gets this and one of them bits is missing, the end of a bootlace is perfect. So yeah, so obviously you get immense detail, but admittedly, very frustrating to put together and very fiddly. But the reason why this was so frustrating to put together, I could strip this apart now quite happily and put it back together again in a fraction of the time. I think it took me about 2.5 hours to put this together. In a fraction of that time, because a lot of the frustration came from, and this is the one thing that annoys me with Prime 1, and I have mentioned this before in another video, is their instructions just aren't fit for purpose. I mean, come on, Prime 1, we're paying a lot of money for these pieces. Surely you can give us a semi-decent level quality booklet. If there's lots of parts and components and pieces, instead of having this one sheet fold out crap with these 3 centimetre squared photographs that you could need a bloody magnifying glass to see what on earth. I mean, with this, I couldn't even see what part they were referring to. With the Predator cover art piece, which I sold to David recently, again, it was, you didn't know what branch were they using, what branch did they, and I was really having to, and it's all that that's chewing up the time, let alone trying to see where the bloody hell you're putting it. So if we could get, I think, in all fairness, I saw in a video recently that XM do really nice little booklets, proper little booklets, you know, not hardback, but real good quality. Prime 1 should be doing that. Now, I watched someone unboxing that controversial Joker piece that's just come out, the Heath Ledger one, and it looked to me two things. I can't remember off the top of it, but I'm pretty sure, first of all, was one thing that I really liked, which I really wanted Prime 1 to do, is they got straps on the polystyrene, which is great. I really hope they're doing that. And the other thing is, it looked to have a much better booklet with it. So I'm hoping Prime 1 are doing it. If not, they really need to be doing it, especially with statues that have the number of parts that some of these have. So anyway, I'm rabbiting. I'm aware I'm rabbiting, guys. I'm sorry. So that. Another reason is, as well, when the statue arrives, it's much easier for you to inspect and check everything with all these little pieces. Everything is easily handleable. Yeah, that. So, so I like that, and I suppose technically it makes it that if you need to take pieces off to clean, you can do it. It makes it a little bit easier to clean, but I never do that. I've got a video coming up which I'm going to do on that, which I know other collectors have done, but it's just coming up with things to do. So those are the reasons why I like it, is because it's got to be engineered that much more than a one piece. It has to be. So if they're spending all this time engineering that, it means they're spending a lot more time looking at detail, looking at how to achieve what they want to achieve with this statue. And I love detail. I love the fact that they're working really hard to get things like this. And obviously Samhain over there, who, apart from the chainmail thing, which I've covered on both those videos before, so I don't need to go over it, was extremely easy to put together and was quite a few pieces. Although, again, there's quite a few pieces on the base, but a very, very easy assembly. The Predator itself was a very easy assembly. A lot of it was, the difficulty was the base. And it was eventually getting so far in and realising just shove the plants where you bloody want. And yeah, but I say, for me, the key issue really is the fact that they need to, Prime 1 certainly need to be giving us much better booklets showing us how to assemble them. I think if they do that, that takes away a lot of the frustration. Obviously, the downside is, sometimes we get, as I just mentioned with chainmail, things that aren't engineered exactly correctly, or there's a flaw in the engineering. With that one, it's simply down to the weight and the ineffectiveness of the magnet. And obviously we all know all the statues where there's been issues in regards to the engineering of how the statue is assembled and put together. Sometimes bits don't quite fit, or they're really, I mean, this is fiddly to put together, there's no two ways about it. And there's certainly pieces that pop out or fall off very, very easily. So, you know, that, I suppose that is a negative. But for me, there's a lot of ticks in boxes that I like in a statue that comes in bits. And I think it's nice as well to open a box and you've got multi-layers and you've got 2 boxes to open and you can put all those pieces out. I mean, can you imagine the bits that are going to be in the 3rd scale Predator? I can't wait to get that. I can't wait. So, yeah, so what are your thoughts? Are you a sort of one piece straight out the box, job done, or do you like the frustration that comes with banging together pieces like this. I must admit, at the end of it, you do feel a certain sense of accomplishment, and I did have to walk away and calm down at one point with this one. The Balrog was dead easy, but again, that didn't really queen many parts, to be honest with you. So yeah, for me, I'm definitely, I like a statue to be in loads of bits because I know I'm getting a very intricate, detailed statue, and I enjoy the assembly part. I must admit, when it, like I have done recently, when it comes to selling, I don't mind disassembling. Again, that is the one time where it is easy to clean the statue when you're selling it, where you get to take it all apart, easy to dust and clean everything off before you package it. The only thing I don't like then is, one, trying to remember where all the bits go in the box, although if you can find an out of the box video, it is very easy to just pause and then you can see exactly where everything goes. But the horrible bit, and I'm sure you've all been through it, when you put that lid of the polystyrene on and you've got a gap like that, so you're having to press down and you're dreading to hear a snap. But yeah, so that's the downside. Listen, let me know what you prefer, anything that I might have missed on this subject, or relevant points, or the reasons why you prefer the fewer pieces the better, or the more pieces the better. Stick it in the comments below, guys. As normal, you know I love to hear from you guys. Yesterday was the 6th, and I started this channel on the 6th of November, so it was exactly 2 months was up, and I got one new subscriber yesterday, taking me to a nice round 140 subscribers in 2 months. So that is fantastic. So thank you to each and every one of you 140 who've subscribed. Superb. Please, if you're watching and not subbing, I know I have to keep saying this on every video, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Keep the comments coming, guys. You know I love to hear from you all. Like, share, you know the routine. I've got 3 days off now, and I've got 2 or 3 other videos I want to do whilst I'm off, so I'll be banging them out over the next few days. So make sure you click the notification bell so you know when they're on. More topics I want to bring up, and I would love to get your input from you guys. I love getting the interaction with you all. Cheers all of you for watching. I'm going to go because I've just come back from work. I've got a brew sat there that I want to get stuck into, and I want to go and start my tea as well. Take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon. And thank you for watching. Take care.